Good morning, everybody. It's Marg with Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. I still have on my desk, as you can see, the Designer Series paper sale. Stampin' Up! Is doing 15% off select 13 select Designer Series papers, all for the month of June. So you can still get in on that, and I am going to be using the Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper today, so that's one of the ones that's on sale. And the starter kit promotion is still running for the whole month of June. If you wanted to get a discount or become a business partner, you can go ahead and order this starter kit. You choose $206 worth of product, any product that's in the catalog, and you only pay $135. There's no shipping, no GST. And you'll receive a paper pumpkin kit with that and some business supplies that you can hand the catalogs out to your friends. So that's still going on, both of those things for the month of June. Okay, the card we're going to do today I saw demonstrated by Patty Bennett, and I thought what a perfect use of Designer Series paper, and especially if you only like one side. I've done lots of cards where you can see both sides of the Designer Series paper. Sometimes you like one side better than the other. So today we're going to use Fresh as a Daisy paper, and this is the one that I chose, this pattern. And the opposite side of this has the blue on it. So to me, they don't really go together that well. So for a card that you're going to see both sides, I didn't really like this, so I'm going to use, and all you're going to see is just this side. So this is as simple as it is. She calls this card 2468 card. You'll know why in a minute. You cut your 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, 5 1/4 by 12. So this is the 5 1/4 measurement. Now, if it has a one-way design, you have to be cognizant of that. Now this one doesn't really, the daisies are just all over the place, but I did turn it the way that I thought looked right to my eye. So that's entirely up to you. So you put it into your paper trimmer and scorer, and you score at 2, 4, 6, and 8, meaning that this will be the back side of your card. You're going to be attaching it to a piece of cardstock that is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, which is a quarter sheet of an 8 1/2 by 11. So this will be put on the back like this. So this will be the inside of your card, I guess, if you want to say that. And then these are all going to accordion fold like this. So when you score it, you lay it back down, and the wider piece here, which will be your 4-inch piece, you're going to fold your paper like that, fold it back, and make sure you're using your bone folder to make sure it stays nice and flat. Then you fold it back again, like this, and back one more time, like this. So that's what it's going to look like on your card, like this. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. 2468 card. Easy to remember, and you know that you're going to get 2 out of a 12 by 12 inch piece of DSP with a little left over, of course. So let's go ahead and attach this to our back here. So I fold it all up just to make it easier to work with, and you're going to go ahead and attach it to that back cardstock piece. And of course you want just try to put it on evenly so that you can see your edges like that. All right, so that's what that looks like. Now what she did is she goes to these folds and she's going to glue them together. So this is already glued down, so you come to your first fold back and just put some glue on it and stick it down like that. Okay, then you're on your next one, and you go ahead and glue that down like that. So now you are not going to see any of that blue Designer Series paper because your card opens just like this, and you can't see any of the blue, just a little along the edge there, I guess. All right, so that's as easy as that card is. It will stand, which makes me very happy. If you know me, you know that I like cards that stand up. So I am using the Cheerful Daisy bundle today, and we're going to embellish it this way. Now, she did a lot of different things, and I have some other samples to show you at the end. You can use circles, you can use rectangles, you can use, I'm going to use squares on mine. So I don't have the Lemon Lolly, which is one of the colors, the lighter color that's in this paper, but I thought the Daffodil Delight looked all right. And if you watched me last week, I'm awaiting an order. Well, it didn't come, so I have to make do with what I have. So I thought I cut 2 of these squares that come from our Stylish Shapes dies. And I used the second one and the third one in from the biggest. So these 2, this is what I used, those 2 right there. You could use 2 the same. I just chose to use 2 different ones. And I didn't know whether I wanted to put them in like this or the other way around. Or I can also use them diamond shaped that way and that way. So those are all the decisions you need to make. So let's set our card aside and we'll work on this. I have previously cut the daisies out, the Cheerful Daisy die. If you've seen it, it cuts, this one is all one piece, and it'll cut 3 of the daisies out and the leaves. So I have cut just the leaves out of Garden Green. So you just literally put your leaf on Garden Green into your cut and emboss machine and just cut your leaves. So that's what I did. I cut a whole bunch of the green leaves. Didn't know how many we'd need. And when you cut these leaves, out of the center comes these nice little fern pieces. And I've kept them because I think they're kind of cool and could be useful. So I've kept them all out of there. So those are my pieces for that. And I've cut my daisies out. So I cut this out once. So I got all the white daisies. So they're all here like this. And then I cut the coordinating pieces that go with the daisies. Like you've got a solid piece, so I cut the solid piece first, and that's this piece on the back here. And then you're going to use this piece, which is the piece that's right there. And then I also cut the sort of detailed pieces, I guess you could call them, for each one. So I have this one, and there's the detail piece. I haven't glued them all together. I've glued those 2 pieces together to show you. And there's the large one, and here's the detailed piece that goes with it. And here's the sort of half daisy and the detailed piece that goes with that. So those are all in your die set here. All right. So I cut all those out and I've glued the 2 pieces together, and I've left the detail piece off because I want to show you something. Because the daisies, of course, have yellow centers, I thought, how am I going to do this? There is a piece that you can cut your yellow center out, but I thought, well, it looks really, I don't know, too solid or something. I didn't like it. So what I decided to do is bring in my Daffodil Delight ink pad and a sponge dauber. You could also use a blending brush. And here's a sample. I just used my sponge dauber in the daffodil and I blended the yellow around, and I thought that looked really nice, and I thought it goes really well with this. Now, the decision I have to make now is, do I want to add this piece on top? I'm not sure I do, just because of the way it looks now with the center. I just don't know if I like that look. So do I want to just leave it like this and put it on my Daffodil Delight piece with some green leaves? You know, that's what I was thinking, and then this would go on to here. And like I said, I can use it the diagonal way, put the square the diagonal way. Anyways, those were my thoughts. I kind of think I am going to leave off this extra detailed piece. I'll keep these for another project. And I will just go ahead, because I've already done this one, I won't do this one. But I will show you how I did it with the smaller one. And I'll just use a little scrap piece of paper here. So I don't have the small blending brushes, I just have the big ones. So that's why I chose to use a sponge dauber, because I thought it would make this just a little easier to work with. So what you do is you ink it up, you always tap it off on a scrap piece of paper, and I want the center to be more yellow than the petals. So I just started in the center, going around in a circle and just going outward a little bit, just a little bit. And it just takes, that's it. That's all I needed to do that center. I think they look really pretty. This one, I have to be very careful because it's just on this top part. So I will just go like that. I like the look of that one. There, that's as easy as that is. Just a little bit of ink on your sponge dauber and put it right onto your daisies. So let's put that off to the side. Okay. Now to assemble all of this, the other thing I have is I used my deckled rectangles. I'm very fond of these. And I used the fourth one in to cut. This will be for writing on. And I'm going to tuck it right in there. And yes, you may still see an edge of it when I put my pieces on, but that's okay. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do this like that or if I'm going to do it square. I might do it square. All right, so if I'm going to get these ready to go, first off, I think I will do the big one. And I think on the big one, I want the big daisy. And we can put some leaves. You can see that when I cut this, I got some extra pieces from the die, and that's fine. I'm going to tuck them behind here, and that'll give me something to glue on. And I'm thinking I might use some of these little pieces. There is a die in this set that gives you the really ferny pieces of, sorry, I don't know if you can see that, the really ferny pieces of leaf, but I thought it was too big for this. I didn't want to have it going over too much. So I didn't know if I wanted to add these or not, but you can. They're there if you want them. So don't know if I want these up on dimensionals. Let me see here. I really like the fact that, okay, when I glued this second layer down, I just glued the center part so you can see the petals are kind of loose as you go around, and I kind of like that look. I think I also might just take my pencil, you've seen me do this before, and I'm going to give this a little bit of shape, just so that it's not perfectly flat. And if you go one way and then you go the other way, you'll see that your petals will kind of stick up a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put that on there, and I think I might put it up on a dimensional. And I'm just going to use one in the center, and then I'll be able to tuck all my leaves and everything underneath. I also didn't pick a greeting for this card. I didn't really know what I wanted it to say, but I think I'm going to put the daisy like that. And I'm going to put this on about halfway, I think. And it's just glued on the first flap, so it's going to be like that. So if I go ahead and glue it, I want it glued just on this side. So you just need glue about halfway across because you don't want any sticking out. And I will do it this way so that I don't get any glue on the inside of my card in any way. Hoping I won't, but... And you can use your grid paper to kind of line it up. Okay, and then check to make sure you don't have any glue on this side, and there's none there, so that's good. And I'm going to tuck in some of these leaves. Just like that maybe, and I don't think I want 4. I think I want, and I see these ones are just about coming apart, so I'm going to pull them apart. And I might just put one here like that, and 2 on the other side. I think that maybe looks good. And I'm not going to use the fern pieces, I don't think. All right, so for this one, I just want to put some glue on the back, and it's helpful that these little pieces stayed. So therefore I've got a little more to glue down. And I am using my liquid Tombow glue. I like the way this works, and it gives me a little wiggle room when I want to kind of wiggle things in there like that. So there's that one. And then this one, same thing. Not much to glue on here. It's just a little bit. But because you're tucking it underneath, and you can see I don't put glue on the whole leaf. I kind of wanted it, if you leave it a bit loose, then you've got some dimension. Makes your cards a little more interesting, and also that they're hanging off the yellow square gives them a little more interest. Okay, then you're going to open it, and you've got another flap. So this is the one we're going to decorate here. And I think I want it to not stick out the same amount. I want it to go in a little bit. So if I want it to go in, I'm going to kind of do that. And if I put my finger right about there and turn it over, I just want glue about 3/4 of the way on this one, like that. And I'm going to put it in like this. So you probably will see a little bit of my white piece when I go to glue it in the back here in between the two, but that's okay. I think that looks all right. Okay, so on this one, we can choose to put both of these daisies. We can put one daisy on here. And if you want to see it kind of peeking out, that's kind of cute. And I thought, you know what? I might put the other daisy on the inside piece. So if I did that, maybe I'll put it on the inside piece in there to decorate that part. So I think that looks good. So I think I want this kind of peeking out a little bit. So I'm going to, I won't put this one on a dimensional. I'll just go ahead and glue it just flat, just like this. And I've left a little bit. Again, you can have it, it's interesting if you have it overhanging your piece. And then maybe for this one, I'll either tuck one of these underneath, or maybe I should use all these little fern pieces on this one. I think I might use these little fern pieces and just tuck them underneath. So they're very, very delicate. So maybe I'll use my silicone mat here and turn them all over. I'll use 3, I think. And just put a little bit of glue just along the center of them. If I can get my glue to go. Come on, glue. There's one. Oh, there's 2. Here's my last one. If you ever get too much glue on them, what you can do is you can just turn them over, use your silicone mat, and just kind of wipe them off a little bit, and that's helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and just tuck them in here. I did not glue this daisy all the way down. It was just the glue was in the center. So there's that. So I'm able to tuck these underneath. There. And one more. This one, I think I'll tuck it right up here. There. I think that looks good. All right, so there's what the front looks like. And you open it like that to see the second daisy, and then we're going to go ahead and put this in. And I just glue it along the edges. This is the piece of white that you're going to write on, of course. And I am going to tuck it right against the fold and center it as best I can. Make sure that this card will still fold closed like that. And I think I will put this daisy in and maybe just have a little leaf peeking out like that. I think that looks good. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the front of this leaf. If I can get some glue on it. And I'm going to tuck it just like that, just so it sticks out a little bit. And then I'm going to put that daisy right down flat. And that just decorates the inside of your card, makes it cohesive with the outside of your card. And who doesn't love these daisies? Can't use them enough. I'm going to let it hang off of the white paper also. So it's going to look like this. All right, there's our finished card. I don't have a greeting for it. Now there are greetings, of course, in the Cheerful Daisy Bun stamp set. You made my day, wishing you the brightest birthday. Oops, a daisy, so sorry. Your friendship means everything. I could have put something right down here on a white, and there is a label. Unfortunately, it's a long one, so it would overhang, so I didn't like that, so I wasn't going to use that particular label, but I could have used something else. I think I'm just going to leave it for now, and I might just end up putting the greeting on the inside for it. So that's our finished card, 2468, Patty Bennett's demonstration of this, and I loved it. Great way to use a whole piece of, 12 by 5¼ inch piece of DSP, and it does stand, and it just is very interesting for the person that receives it because you've got, some extra things on the inside. All right, I'll show you the other cards that I made using that same design. This is retired paper. This is the Sun Prince paper, and it was gray granite. Now, I wanted to show you what I used for. I used the Something Fancy dies, and I used this die right here for both of these. And I put them through an embossing folder just to give them some interest. And these dies, of course, are retired, but that's what I did with that one. And I think that turned out really nice. So that's a different, instead of a square, I used something different there. All right, and then I also made this one. This was the celebration paper we had, and on the Mango Melody cardstock. And I used the Stylish Shapes circle and the 2 3/8 inch circle punch that comes with the Sweet Citrus bundle. And of course, that's what I used with this. So it says thanks a bunch. And I used the dies and the stamps that come with this set and put it like that. And that's the way I did that one. So that one turned out really good. I really like that one. And that's done with Berry Vanilla instead of white. So I like the look of that one too. It's very bright and cheery. So there's some examples of that card. I think it's brilliant. It's a brilliant use of the DSP. And like I said, sometimes the DSP is not, we don't like both sides, so you're not going to use it in a card where you're going to see both sides. So I thought this was a brilliant use of it. I guess I forgot to put on some bling on this card. Let's do that. I do have some embellishments on this. This is all retired things. But for this one, I did pull out the glossy dot assortment, and there is Daffodil Delight. And I thought, you know what, those would look really nice on here. So I think I will use a few of those. So let's see. They come in 2 sizes, so we'll try this. I think it looks good right up there. I think I'm going to use the, oh, sorry, they come in 3 sizes. I just see that mine, I must have used the other little ones. I have, the package is here. Hang on a second. I guess I must have used all those little ones. So they do have little ones. It comes in 3 sizes. So that's my mistake. Sorry about that. Let me cut this package open. Just cut this package open so I can get in here. Pull these out. So we'll use those ones, sorry. Okay, so that was a medium-sized one. Let's use the larger one. How about down here? And then I'll use a small one. I think I'll just maybe tuck it right there. All right, so there, we've got it embellished now. Great. All right, so there's our card from today and the other two that I made right here. If you like this video and you like this layout, which I think it's brilliant, thanks to Patty Bennett, please give me a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel and you'll not miss a Tuesday video. I try to come on every Tuesday. So there we have it. I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.